Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I'm your host, Papa Joe, and I am joined by Sharon, and we are doing some interesting stuff with suppressed history. And boy, did we come across some stuff a couple weeks ago. Go back to, I don't remember which video it was, 8, 7, 8, or 9? Definitely 9.
Definitely
Definitely 8.
not. I thought it was 8.
I think it was 8. Anyways, check them out. Go back and watch them. You have to be part of the Patreon that is in the bottom of the thingy madoodle here. The reason being is because everywhere I have posted these videos has disappeared. And this allows me to be able to rework the plumbing and do it straight out of the recording. I can literally share the link out of the recording. I can also embed these in my website if I have to. So definitely be part of the Patreon if you're going to do this, because it allows me to be able to get in here and actually do these things. So anyways, Sharon, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How about you?
I am well. I need to turn my volume up. So I don't know where we left off last time, but we have stumbled upon, we were looking at, let's kind of give a recap here. We were looking at, I forget what letter it was.
We
Treasury certificate of the people for the Philippine Islands or something like that.
Yes, that was a document that I had in my archives, and I was just like, let's pull this out and let's dig into it. And the next thing we know, you're looking up a string and you said, that's code. And
yeah, there was something in there. I was like, what is that? What is that? It's simply, with my background, I'm able to find things because I know that there are wires that connect, and in my brain they connect. So I'm like, I know how to keyword, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. And lo and behold, we are digging through some crazy stuff. So you had mentioned right before we got onto here something about the Postal Service, and I think that ties into a lot of things, and that's what your document came from, a mailroom, if I'm not mistaken. So let's kind of dig in there, and then we'll jump into the more of the documents, just kind of bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, so maybe maybe we'll do another live dig here. We'll dig in for everybody.
It's maybe a little bit.
Well, let's go back to the whole postal union thing. And David Wynn Miller, in his 9-hour presentation, it's still out on the internet somewhere.
I pulled that up. It's on Rumble and it's on BitChute.
Awesome. So we can
look that guy up.
Yeah. And in there, he talks about the post office. Now, we all know under, Admiralty law, the whole sovereignty movement, that the post office, the bank, and what was the third? There's 3 of them: post office, bank, and the courthouse.
I was going to say it's something in the legal system.
Yes, we're all in the same building.
Used to be, yeah. Used to be.
Isn't that interesting? Because it's not the judge that really does anything. It's the clerk of courts.
Yep, which is...
Okay.
Yep.
Now, there's the United States Postal Service, and then there's the United States Post Office, and they are 2 separate things.
Yes, sending mail via certified mail, and then there's another version that actually matters when you send it. Like it carries weight. One of them carries weight, and the other one's just everyone uses it.
Mm-hmm. So David Wynn Miller's going in the importance of the post office. Okay. And then he's talking about the Universal Postal Union. Now, I started thinking
the UN comes in.
Exactly. But what was it? It helped me with this. I thought it was 2016 that the post office.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that too.
Blockchain.
Yes. So the post office, USPS. I don't know if it was USPS or US Post Office, USPO. I think it's USPO. There was a patent, and let me see if I can find it real quick, where it was listed that they patented a specific type of blockchain. I don't know if it's a specific blockchain, specific flavor of blockchain. It was blockchain technology voting systems, which would be amazing. And I know around that time period, I knew of different blockchain leaders, heads of platforms, creators, were in and out of Washington, D.C. an awful lot. And it would stand specifically one guy, and I'm not going to put his name out there because I don't want to cause any NDAs or anything like that to get messed up for him. But you and I can chat about that offline. I think it would be it's fine if it's one-on-one kind of thing, but it's not okay in a public setting. So it is a blockchain that I have. Hang on. I will squirrel here, y'all. Sorry, I'm looking for this. It is a blockchain that I have looked at, and that has some very unique features that other blockchains do not have, and it is very much so constitutional in nature. Put it that way. So, post office patent. If I can spell, I'm tired, y'all. There are no editing on these shows. Y'all know this.
It just kind of flies for us. We have our days too.
Blockchain voting. Just bear with me. So y'all have to see here. Wow, it's literally on Google Patents. Maybe let's see. Hang on.
Crazy, because this is all going to
Forbes
come
picked
into.
it up.
Oh,
It was in
really?
2020. Yeah. U.S. Post Office Service files a patent for voting system. Okay, I don't know if that's the right one. I want to make sure before I pull that up. Actually, you know what? Y'all can see this. You can see how my brain works when I search for stuff. That's fine with me. Secure voting system. A voter system can use the security of a blockchain and the mail to provide a reliable voting system. So here's your diagram, and I don't know. Okay, I have it over here. So, yeah, everything goes in a blockchain, and then, or no, excuse me, no, that's into the blockchain layer. Yeah, that works. That actually works. I draw these things for technical systems all the time, so it's very easy for me to just quickly go, and other people are like, what in the world is
What is he doing? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
Let's see. Can I rotate? Yes. No. Rotate. There we go. Vote. Blockchain, sir. This is blockchain. Yep. County registry. Yeah. So the blockchain becomes accumulator would be your accounting system. Oop, wrong one. 31 images, huh? Voter. Yeah. So that's it's got an EPM. So an electronic notary can be set up, or a signature or a key signature on a blockchain, just like you would have for a typical vote when you use a DAO. If you ever voted in a DAO, you put a token in or token up, you vote for whatever it is, yes or no, or an alternative solution to something. So that could be how that works. Your signature on the blockchain becomes interfaced with the notary.
Isn't that similar to Dragon Chain? Are you familiar with Dragon Chain?
You're the second person to bring that up, and I the guy behind Dragon Chain, he's a very interesting fellow. I don't remember his name, but I do know that he worked at Disney as a security officer for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Because I was working on a Dragon Chain certification.
You were?
I got sidetracked in some other
certification. I didn't even know they had these certifications. I don't know what they mean.
Was with the protocols and the whole education system with the Dragon Chain protocol, basically, and the 5 layers of security that they have, if I remember correctly.
Architecture. So there's their white paper. I also write these things too. Hang on. Doop-a-doop-doo. Hang on. Currency. No. This isn't the one I'm looking for. Hang on. Is it console? I don't remember. Nope, that's not it. But that is actually really cool as well. Foundation. This is a US-based company. Oh, that's new. Come a validator.
Oh yeah, that is new.
So
yeah, you can join the Dragon
thing, which is a social media thing. Hang on. I want to find the dude because he has from my perspective, a pretty impressive resume. Just because you work at Disney doesn't make you a bad person.
No.
There are a lot of good people trapped in bad systems. So Enterprise NFT, this is something that I could show you so many use cases for. Then LMS is also very interesting as well. This has been tried multiple times. The decentralized loyalty and rewards, Divi is doing that. Anti-fraud and compliance could be set up. And this is a little interesting. Provability,
Provably
fair systems.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Sorry. Where does the dude that's part of this thing business contact us? No. Unbelievable. Why can't I find foundation? Oh well, I feel like a burning time here at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whoa. Kubernetes and OpenF. I'm gonna dig a little more into this chain. From a tech perspective, that's some of these things I'm seeing just off the bat here. Put it that way. Use case.
Yeah. So I was looking at this. Oh my gosh! Like.
Yeah, notes from Disney voting system right there.
3 years ago. So yeah. So this is what triggered me. So it was the voting blockchain, and then Dragon Chain and their security protocols, which were fascinating. And so I'm like, wait a minute. And now we're digging into the sovereignty. And so it's like we have this sovereignty movement, and then there's this blockchain, and it's like the two worlds are going to do this. And it's really fascinating. And y'all, this is probably the most exciting time to be alive. We are participating.
It is. Then some of the other stuff that I'm working on. That's part of the reason why I haven't had time to do my other shows is because of when I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell you publicly, but I will at some point when it's okay to do so. There's some pretty cool stuff that I'm blessed to be able to be part of. We'll put it that way. And it's just taking a lot of any of my free time. So, and you will really want me to be doing that instead of the shows. I'll put it that way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You would rather me doing that than the other shows.
Yeah.
Because of what it is.
And as we're digging into this, the hopes are that y'all realize that a lot of this stuff that's being worked on, quite honestly, y'all don't need another influencer show and this and that. We're just going to get information out to you. Yep. And you go and you dig into it. You print it off. You hold it in your hands. Read it. What does it bring up for you? What is some visceral stuff that are like, wow? And you start looking, because as we're going through these documents.
Keep going. We were talking about this still a minute ago.
It starts to lead to other things. And so now that we're into the World Bank stuff and really going through all of the documents in their library, it's really appearing. And granted, there's a lot of documents, but it's appearing to start all of this thing is coalescing together in such a fascinating way that it really brings some hope and like, wow, this is super cool. So it's really digging into what is coming, because it will make things fair. And we get caught up in the word equitable because it's been so twisted in this weird way. Equitable. We got to be equitable.
True. So, what I was just showing you there is Forbes picked it up. No, you're good. In 2020, September 2020, by the way, that the United States Patent and Trademark Office published a patent application filed by the USPS. The patent claims the combination of security of blockchain and mail service providers to a reliable voting system. A registered voter receives a QR code by mail. A a separation of voter identification and votes to ensure voter anonymity. I can never say that word. That's pretty cool. I did that. Sorry. Is the principal feature of the solution. The votes are stored on a blockchain attested by electronic or elections officials. Obviously, this patent is too late to be developed and deployed for this election. However, that doesn't mean it won't be next time around, y'all. That is quite interesting.
So what's the date on this article?
This article is September 20th, 2020. So
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
And then the actual patent, we were looking at that a minute ago. This was filed. It's a worldwide application. U.S. patent in 2020. Gosh. Wow.
Okay. Does that tell
pending.
You anything?
It's still pending. It's not approved.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So
system compromise, a blockchain access layer configured to receive input from user operating mobile computing device. I have said that. Those of you who have sat through my talks or have been in any of my presentations or seen me face to face doing any public speaking stuff, I will talk about voting on a mobile device. And I will, this whole thing, this receiving input from user, if it was voting day and you got a push notification or a text message on your phone, it's time to vote. Click the link, whatever, you verify it's you, just like you do for your crypto wallet. You punch in your information. You have to go through some sort of KYC to do that. That is a significantly more rigorous, who are you? Verify who you are, holding your license up and all this other crap that than we do to open up a bank account. Or go vote, okay? Or go get your driver's license in the first place. This gives you the ability to then go in, verify it's you, one vote, one person, sort of blockchain, and then it's done. It's that simple. It is so simple. It's so stupid simple. You could, yes, no, this, that, and you have to take the time. You won't feel rushed because other people are lining up behind you, blah, 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 blah. So easy. Done anywhere. You can be anywhere in the world and still vote. You don't got to mail your vote in. Anyway, so many different applications for that.
So we're starting to see all of these things kind of come together. And so as we'll go back into, if you want, we can go back into some of the World Bank documents. One of the ones I really dug into were these notifications going out to the banks, and especially the one to the Federal Reserve.
There are multiple. And so there's notification to the Federal Reserve Bank as a whole. And then there was, where was it? I read a couple of them. It's down towards the bottom here. As Wells Fargo, World Bank. Here's the resolutions. Okay, there's notification Federal Reserve System. There's another one. And then I think it calls out each branch at some point down here. Nope, never mind. There's two for the Federal Reserve. So there's this one. And then I want to say I know it. Well, maybe it got adjusted. I don't know. Anyways, which one do you want me to go to?
Let's just go. Let's focus on the Federal Reserve one, because that seems to be near and dear to everybody's heart right now, as BRICS gets going with their gold currency. And so we look at the date, and that's the important thing, is looking at the dates on here and what was happening around those dates.
This year, I don't remember. I think I was on vacation, to be honest with you. So I unplug y'all when I go on. I just, if I don't, I won't be good.
And it's, the thing is too, is like, I host a Thursday night Zoom group, a Woo group. So
I'll go join that.
It's you gotta request so I can get in there. You can get in, because it's like, we got to make sure we know who's coming in.
You don't want to,
And so we were going over, take your time, look at the dates. Don't leave it just for Papa Joe and I to spoon feed you stuff. That's how we got into this mess. oh, well, so and so. And then so and so is with my sources and my people. And it
Yep.
was like, y'all, we're holding up books.
Yep.
We're saying here,
Yep.
go here. It's not, oh, well, you're insulting me by asking me, how do I know? What? No, I want all of you to
Good
be
dig.
so empowered. Yeah. And so we were talking about that, and just go and print them off. Create your own library, for goodness sakes.
Get you a binder, 3-ring binder, and put these in there.
And so what was happening in the first quarter, because really February is the first quarter, or in some governments or businesses, it's third quarter.
Yep. Or the end of fourth quarter for some businesses. stuff like that.
Yeah. So we're kind of like, oh, but when you're
February
looking
23rd this year, 2023.
right. And so what's fascinating with this one, and we'll read through it for those if they're driving. So the notification is Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One expresses you our respect and notifies you of the following, meaning the Federal Reserve. International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the World Account with World Bank account number, distributed among various banks in countries around the world. As a reminder, International Monetary One is the owner and manager of the World Account in World Bank account number, and it goes on, distributed among various banks in countries around the world. As a reminder, International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of assets, including accounts under the names White Spiritual Boy, Spiritual Wonder Boy, Spiritual Wonder Brothers, Morning Star, King David, Prophet Muhammad, Damas and Saint Timothy, White Mongolia, White Vatican, White Eagle, Maria Sinuquan or Divine Crystal, Maria Vanishaw or Divine Sunflower, Maria Christina or Divine Magdalene, Maria Magdalene or Divine Esther Egg, Falcon, Alpha, Omega, and other accounts with various banks in 189 countries around the world. By this notification, we inform you that by the right of the sovereign. So we're starting to see more of this language.
Yep.
Okay. And I highly recommend that you all look up that term, right,
The right of the
of
sovereign.
the sovereign.
And they're capitalized for a reason. The text, the styles matter significantly.
Absolutely. On the basis of the international norms of law, that is another thing for y'all to go look up, because I dug into that. We're looking at UN international norms of law.
Interesting. Okay. That I am not familiar with.
I dug into that one. That's like, okay, this is serious.
Yep.
By the right of the absolute owner of all world assets, by the right of the absolute owner of the entire world financial system, and the main regulator of the entire world financial system, Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, by order number 19, is dated September 23rd, 2022, proclaimed a new world sovereign bank. Now people are like, oh my God, it's a one world bank. Okay, we're
Yep.
going to go back to when gold was the
It was that
world
way a long time
currency.
ago. It
Exactly.
was already there.
Now, this goes really back into the Knights of the Hospitaller or the Knights Templar.
A lot of people don't know that either.
And
I'm
we're
still
coming
digging
up.
into that part. I did, by the way, watch National Treasure 2, which talks about the hidden city of gold, which, if you really think about the 6 billion metric tons, that might just be what that is. It could very well possibly be that. That would make sense. Anyways, I digress.
Well, we're looking at all of this coming together. So let's go back where
we were Sovereign Bank. I can't highlight it.
That's okay.
No. Lock down this pages.
It's crazy. Proclaimed a new world sovereign bank. Now, the one thing is that we are coming up on the anniversary when they started to burn the heads of the Templars order at the stake. Okay, this is a big deal.
Yep.
The King of France lured them back in. Why? Because he owed them a lot of money.
Yep.
So we're really looking at, and if I mean, if I'm off here, y'all put it in the comments and something. But from what I know, is that they really did have a banking system that looked out for the people, and that's why they wanted to get rid of them.
That was
So
the Knights Templar. It was one of the many things the Knights Templar was. That's why they were said to have guarded the world's treasures, mainly because, or the world's history. Like you think about the scrolls from like Alexandria. You think about like the whole library of Alexandria. If you don't know what that is, go look that up. That was tried to be burned down 3 times, and I think the 3rd or 4th time it was successful. You know, all kinds of things that they were supposed to guard for the preservation of humanity. It wasn't, and the knowledge, and then it got taken over by the Vatican and all like the cardinals and blah 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 blah. They took over those roles. No, they didn't.
They were infiltrated.
Correct.
By the name stealers, which this goes back to the Codex Oralinda. And there's some Cliff High episodes that he talks about this on his BitChute channel.
Yeah. Were they recent? Because I haven't watched.
Those, I think they're like a year old.
Okay, I may have seen those ones then.
Mm-hmm. So, a New World Sovereign Bank, the Sovereign Bank of the Order of the Hospitallers, as the main historical bank, as the general manager of all world financial banking assets, as the main regulator of the entire world banking system, which they were.
They were then, and now they're taking control back again.
Exactly.
Which is interesting.
Yes. On the basis of Order Number 19, dated September 23rd, 2022, of the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary 1, on February 21st, 2023, the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary 1, under the sovereign's right, on the basis of the norms of international law. And again, y'all, look that one up.
I need to look that up.
You're going to start really.
You give us a high level real quick, because if it keeps coming up, just a high level real quick, so everyone.
What I am learning, because this is a big document to dig through.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, but these.
Most is.
What we've been told, and this is just my hypothesis of what I know thus far. What we have been indoctrinated. Oh, the UN bad. La, la, la. No, there was a group of peoples that are like, we have to do something to prevent the Bolsheviks, or, whatever name you want to give this entity, if you will, something that is going to have some consequences, some boundaries. And so this is like really coming back to, these are old. It's almost like canon law. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
You're going back to William of Orange.
Yeah, you're going
William the Conqueror.
Way back. Yeah.
Way back in those laws. And then there's maxim laws and universal laws. Okay. So we're starting to see some of this. It's a lot to dig into, but take your time, because we have been, so-and-so said.
A lot of time, yeah. That's y'all go read these. We've posted this in the Telegram channel. If I have to do a post, I can actually, if I can add it to the pinned post. I'll see if I can add it to the pinned post on Patreon, but it's specifically to Patreon members only.
And I've been hitting some things when I get a chance and remember to do it.
Yeah.
Do a pinned post in the Telegram.
Yep. So if you're not part of that, guys, go get in it. I had someone else join this week. I was like, okay, you really need to go be part of that.
Get into the Telegram.
Yep.
And so read these. Everything that they are sharing in these documents are meant for you to become curious and for you to go and learn, because the only way for us to truly be sovereign is, for Pete's sakes, you all, stop. Oh, well, this influencer and that influencer, and everybody's being influenced. Why don't you get influenced by what's between your ears?
Yep.
So I digress.
Yeah. Good. So historical,
okay, so
right?
here we go.
Where were
Norms
we?
of
Okay.
the law
Yep.
on the basis of the exclusive historical right, being the absolute owner of the entire world financial system and all world assets, being the main regulator of the world financial system for placement in the New World Bank, signed the Sovereign Global Act of Transfer of all financial banking assets to the main historical bank. Y'all, look that one up.
Okay.
And the general manager for accounting, control, and management of all world financial banking assets, the main regulator of the entire world banking system, the World Sovereign Bank of the Hospitallers Order. Taking this opportunity, the Sovereign International Monetary One confirms to you its favorable disposition to work together to overcome the global financial crisis, to prevent the third world nuclear war, and build a light world financial system which will faithfully and loyally serve the light humanity. Now we're starting to hear some of this language about the light humanity, the light system.
Which is
Okay.
very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what it means, but I transitioning into the next realm. I don't know what you would call that, but where was it? Oh, we have to go back here. Keep going. I'm sorry. I am gonna squirrel tonight. I am.
That's all right. It's just kind of crazy. So these notifications, they mean business. And so
Oh, I can highlight that. Why can't I highlight notification? Oh wow, where did that come from? I couldn't highlight it last time.
no, you couldn't.
Okay, so this is the notification. I can't do this down here. Let's do. Nope. Oh, that's all it lets me do.
Because that's all it wants you to. My hunch is they're very particular about what information you can gather and what you cannot.
You can screenshot it. Actually, I think I can. Let me see if I can screenshot it. Yeah, I can screenshot that. Anyways, I digress. This one's to the Federal Reserve Bank, the chairman of the board of the Federal Reserve. What are the other ones? Or was there more you wanted to dig in here?
No, let's look at the other one and see what that says about the Federal Reserve, because there's two Federal Reserves.
If it will load. Documents. Let's go. So that's that one. Notifications, Federal Reserve, Bank of China. There's another Bank of China.
Now, that'd be interesting too, because if you're looking at the Bank of China was having default problems, these different banks that are listed here.
The Bank of Japan, JP Morgan, UFJ, Financial Morgan Stanley, RBC, Standard Chartered. Societe Generale. Societe. TD, UBS, Wells Fargo, Mongolia. I don't know what these are. Have you seen these at all?
I haven't dug into those.
Bank license.
Oh, those are the countries that. Okay, so this could go into the license where they can open accounts with the Nostro and the Vostro.
Look at the paper on this, man. This is the actual bond.
Mm-hmm.
Chairman of the Board, Sovereign Bank Order of Hospitality. National Bank, Slovak Customer Cooperative, ROD, NBSS, SCCR. You're good at saying stuff like this. You're more
Bratislava Slovak Republic.
Interesting.
Slovak Consumer Cooperative, ROD. Okay, this goes into another section on their website, which is the ROD. And now if this goes into, because these I haven't quite looked at, placement of funds, procedure to deposits on demand and for certain period and currencies. Okay, so this goes into one of their notifications
and cryptocurrency. Read this. So hereafter referred to as the bank for carrying out bank operations. The bank is granted the right to carry out the following banking operations, which funds and in any currencies, bank gold, foreign currency, and cryptocurrency.
And this one is in the what? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You can take over if you want to.
Slovak. All right, so we're at the cryptocurrency.
Number 1.
Procurement of funds in any currencies, bank gold, because that's the XAU that we've talked about in other episodes. Foreign currency and cryptocurrency of individuals and legal entities to deposits on demand and for a certain period. Placement of funds procured to deposits on demand and for a certain period in any currencies, bank gold, foreign currency, and in cryptocurrency of individuals and legal entities on their own behalf and at their own expense. Oh, does that sound like you are going to custody your own cryptos?
Sure. Your own money.
You're going to be your own bank.
Blockchain technology would allow that type of thing.
Okay, so now we're going back to what we started the show with.
It doesn't have to be a cryptocurrency. You can have digitized or tokenized gold. You can have tokenized foreign currency or whatever you want to call it, because you could, if you had a blockchain that was verified, all the transactions and all that you had related to currency in general, it can be denominated in what it is simply because of what it is. Like an NFT is an NFT, but an NFT can also be the digital representation of, say, a house or your car or something that has some sort of deed or title or whatever of ownership to it. Sorry, you're reading on. Go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the coins in the bond paper design.
Those Where are you looking?
At the very bottom behind. So you have to look in the watermarks.
Look here, this?
Yes. No. In the blue. See the coins that are stacked up?
Oh, these,
behind? Yeah.
Let's see if I can do that without getting dizzy. My eyes are. I need to probably put my glasses on. It looks like a dollar symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I zoom out. If I can see it better.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So they're stacking those things up. So in some of these resolutions, they talk about licensed banks. And that's what we're looking at here, are licenses that they're issuing. For the Nostra, ours. Vestra, yours. Ours and yours. And so this is ours. So you're going to deposit it as ours, and now it's going to be yours.
It's interesting that there are only a handful of bank licenses listed here.
It is. Right?
So there's one for the Czech Republic, Vietnam, Madagascar, Poland, and the Slavic Republic. There's nothing for anything else.
Yet.
That I've seen, right.
Now, there's a lot of weird stuff coming out of Morocco.
Okay.
All right. And I haven't dug into that. People are like, you need to dig in what's going on in Morocco. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, okay, another thing on my radar. Like, I need more. So is this the second Federal Reserve one?
I think, yeah. I had to pull them up side by side. They look identical. I wonder if it was reference number not Federal Reserve, not FRS.
No, this one goes on the chairman of Federal Reserve. It could be a duplicate. Scroll down because it looks. Yep, it looks like it's the same one.
It does look like it's the same one.
Yeah. So the one thing I did
resolutions. Go ahead, sorry.
Is look into.
Oh, there's your
Angola, Guinea.
What is Angola?
Angola.
I'm just really bad with my geography.
Okay, Angola is another country. So you have Angola, Guinea, like Papua New Guinea.
Yeah. Okay. Mongolia.
Okay. Yes. Mali. Okay, so I think that's all through the archipelago there, if I remember correctly. Now, the one fascinating. Yeah, there's an. Decree. What is that? Decree raw video. That's. Oh, y'all should watch the series Zeitgeist. OMG. Look at those seals.
That's a lot of seals.
Oh, this is no joke.
Light Great Russia. Here, I'm gonna.
Holy buckets. Pursuant to this decree. What in
Let's
the
come up
world?
here. June 28th. Go ahead, take it away.
In the performance of the sacred mission of the Svarzovich sovereigns, okay, so this is a sect of that, regarding the restoration of heavenly systems in all earthly and heavenly spaces. Whoa. For the
Okay.
purpose of purification of world media space as an integral part of the entire world space from Jenkins. This
Yep, a
is
little bit.
crazy. Any manifestations of forms of violence, propaganda, perversions, and perversions of humanity, namely, holy buckets.
Wow.
Wow is right. You got all this is biblical, and it's also in the Quran, and this is in all ancient texts. Wow. Any manifestations of forms of violence, propaganda, perversions, and perversions of humanity, namely homosexuality, lesbianism, bisexualism, transgender, LGBT, dang, pedophilia, bestiality, cannibalism, sex change, human trafficking, human organs trafficking, any manifestations of forms of propaganda of perversion and violence against man and humanity, animals, nature, and other vices directed against the light human race, generic morality and nature. Generic. There, I'm sorry.
Generic.
Oh, is it generic? Okay. I was like, oh, I got to look in closer. Okay. In the Wow. In the media, any manifested forms of lies, slander, falsehood, and other destructive information directed against the light human race. Oh, dang. All right.
Nature and divine.
Okay, I'm going to read this and I'll go. Human race, nature, and the divine law of creation in all world media space as an integral part of the entire world space. Okay, the light human thing, I think I just put together because this isn't some of the teachings like with some of the elders
Okay.
is that we are, oh man, this is crazy because I have been talking to people about that. They're like, what is wrong with some of these people? I said, there will come a time of which you will be able to recognize those with a God spark and those without.
That makes sense. That's a good way to put that.
Okay. And Jason Brashears says those that have the three qualities of imagination, intuition, and empathy. And so when you think about that, God is limitless in his intuition because he's omnipotent. His creativeness shows imagination, but yet he loves his creation, which is empathy. So I was taught that that was a God spark. It's the light within. So light human race is those with the God spark.
Interesting. So the humanity. Okay. So humanity. So humanity that's untainted, I guess, would be another way to put that, or maybe more like the Holy Spirit is within. I don't know. That's another way to put it, I guess. From
Yeah, fear not, I have not abandoned you, for
right.
with you I leave. Okay. So those that it dwells in, and some I've said, that spark is still there. It's like take that little song, you let your light shine, let the bushel basket,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So some people just have a bushel basket over
You
it,
just
like
keep it
they're
over
trying to
it. Yep.
protect it.
It'll
Okay.
eventually burn through the basket, guys. Just saying.
Exactly. And so and one of the people in the Woo group, because he teaches music, and I said, we're fortunate, though we didn't have kids, that in a spiritual way, we're the ones that get to just see where that little spark is and we get to blow on it
Sure.
and say, hey, and help it come to life.
Sure.
So
It's
this
kind of a cool
this
way to look at that.
this is a big deal. This document, holy buckets. So we're going to go on to 2. Filling the world media space with the truth, the informational direction for restoration and elevation.
Elon Musk, anybody on X?
Wow. Super values: life, love, truth, justice, creation, and development according to the divine law of creation. Can't get any more biblical than that, guys.
Nope.
Formation of the vector of information development of mankind according to the divine law of creation in all world space. Raising respect and holy crap. Okay, so I'm going to squirrel off here, y'all, because I do transformational life coaching. I call it transitional, really, because life is a series of transitions. And one was having a hard time with just being respected. I said, no. I said, your children revere you. And your family is jealous because you have children that revere you. And when you have a reverence for something, that is much more profound than respect, loyalty, or love, because reverence is deep.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
really
wide.
does go deep. It goes very deep.
It's like, oh, I love you. No. Do you have a reverence? I said, your boys, because it was a mom, they revere you.
They
I
do.
would take reverence over that any day.
Sure. It's true.
So chew on that, y'all.
Yeah.
So let's go back here. I digress.
Raising respect and reverence. Huh.
Yeah. Wow. To the naturally, oh my gosh. Okay, this is so
This is really
MST
just
3000. Here we go.
Yeah.
To the naturally born male and female principle as an image and likeness to the kind Almighty. To the traditional tribal institute of the family. To children and the older generation. To people's traditions of childbirth and world tribes. To Vedas and testaments of all wise ancestors, mentors of development of light humankind as per the divine law of creation. This is a profound document. To justice in all world media space as an integral part of the entire world space.
This is crazy, y'all. World Council of Sovereign hereby proclaims.
Wow. To establish the World Sovereign Media Platform, raw video in short. To endow the World Sovereign Media Platform, raw video, with the status of sovereign. Y'all, you've got to look up what all of this sovereign stuff is about. We were just getting a taste of it. I'm like, what are you going to find? No, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you going to find?
I'm going to not share for just a second, just in case something inappropriate pulls up. Let's see here. Okay. I think I found it. Just making sure. Okay, so here is new.rawvideo.world/register. I say that because where is it? You see this twcs.world?
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know, but this and this site, why would you do that? It's not there. Let's see. Continue to site. Yeah. Okay, so it's not done yet, it looks like.
Okay.
Never mind. It is done. That looks
oh my
like
gosh.
the dude that's there.
Yes, that is. Is that Keanu Reeves?
Yep.
Holy.
So it looks like it's in some sort of Slavic language.
Yeah, I have somebody. I was going to show him this because he can read all this. He can read Cyrillic and he'll translate it for me.
Well, there's also this button up here that translates the whole thing.
Does it?
Translate this page.
Oh, cool.
Blink.
Well, there you go. Oh my goodness.
Air, blonde eyes, blue. Okay. Interesting.
This is
Raw video,
wow.
sovereign video platform. Well, I'm going to be digging into that. I'm going to pull that over here.
This is crazy.
Pull that over here. I'm going to put these together and create yet another tab that I have. I have 500 things open, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
back to the document.
Yeah. .gov. Okay, I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna scroll off on that like I did finding this stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Okay,
All right, there
back
we
to
go.
this. Okay, here we go.
Now, does that say secretariat?
It does. At twcs.world. It's an email address.
Secretariat.
RCE. I don't know. It was a horse. His name.
Secretariat was the Triple Crown winner.
Yep.
I had some of those offspring that I was had been training. So
That's kind of cool.
So you've got, and he was red. Secretariat was red, a chestnut. I'm just kind of like, okay, did they name the horse after this?
That would be interesting if that was in fact the
yeah.
thing.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too crazy. All right, sorry,
We
y'all.
did on 2. Let's go. Yeah, numbered. This is a big document.
To endow the World Sovereign Media Platform Raw Video with the status of sovereign. Endow the World Sovereign Media Platform Raw Video with the great sacred mission, truth, and restoration of justice in all world media spaces as an integral part of the entire world space to reorganize all world media spaces with the purpose to fill the world media space with truth, informational direction of the restoration of justice in all world space, and formation of the vector of informational development of humanity as per the divine law of creation in all world space. Okay, they're using world space. Now, here's the thing. David Straight talked about law, land, air, water, but then there's laws, land, air, water, space. We're starting to see the language here for all world space, which gets crazy.
To pull up. We'll go right back to that in just a second. Regions. We saw this before.
Right, with
So
Eurasia.
Eurasia, Africa.
America. Asia. Antarctica and Australia.
Yep.
Now, isn't that crazy?
Yep. So then you have
with Oceania.
Includes the Oceania, Australia. What is Oceania? New Zealand and Middle East, Asia, Southern Philippines, and Indonesia. USSR. Interesting.
Oh, yes, because that goes into a document that I found. They still call it the USSR. Okay. And that goes into another page, which that's like a whole nother squirrel. So we're going to save stuff for y'all.
And then it goes into space.
Isn't that crazy? All surface space, all underwater space, all terrestrial space. Okay. What else do we have? All underground space, all airspace, outer space, and space exploration. So when people say they're outer space, well,
it doesn't have anything there. That's very interesting. Okay, we'll go back to the document. Sorry.
No, y'all, this is like really expand your mind here. Okay, so we're on to 3.1. Forbidding in all world space as an integral part of the entire world space. Any manifestations of a form of violence and propaganda, perversions of humanity, namely homosexuality, lesbianism, bisexuality, transgender, pedophilia, bestiality, cannibalism, sex change, human trafficking, human organs trafficking, any manifested forms of propaganda or perversion of, and I think goes to the same
violence against man. Yeah, it goes against that stuff there. As we already read that.
Mm-hmm.
Any manifestation.
And then, any manifested forms of lies, slander, falsehood, and other destructive information directed against the light human race, filling the world media space with truth, informational direction on restoration and ascension. Super values: life, love, truth, justice, creation, and development according to the divine law of creation, formation of the vector of informational development of mankind according to the divine law of creation in all world space, ascension of respect and reverence. We're seeing that again.
I guess. Okay.
It's going through.
This, and then ascension and of respect and reverence to, I guess, these. Yeah, two. There you go.
Yeah, to naturally born male and female principle as an image and likeness to the kind Almighty, to the traditional tribal institute of family, to children and the older generation, to people's traditions of childbirth and world tribes, to Vedas testaments. Okay, we read all that. To justice in the world media space as an integral part of the entire world space, to proclaim the world's sovereign media platform, Raw Video, as the main regulator of the entire world media space as an integral part of the entire world space, in pursuance of the great sacred mission to confirm the rights of the world's sovereign media platform, Raw Video, in all subjects and subsubjects of the world, in part of the right to conduct further investigation, the right to operational investigative activities, the right to block and liquidate criminal media resources and media content. Holy buckets. The right to impose sanctions on any media subjects, rights in the world space, right on liquidation of any criminal media subject, rights in the world space, all subjects and subsubjects of the law of peace, to provide full-scale assistance and support to the world sovereign media platform, Raw Video, in the execution of the great sacred mission. All international and state counter-terrorism and legal law enforcement organizations, all military organizations, all valid orders, all masters of world systems, all masters of world financial systems, all international and state control organizations, all missionaries executing the sacred mission before the only all God, all creator, all maker, bearing the light and knowledge of the world, all world spaces, Yav, Nave, Slavs, and Prava, an execution of all light, all heavenly, all divine providence, to all great divine providence, all great cosmic forces, all divine armadas, all divine fleets, as well as the great fleet of Ra, immediately to implement this decree in terms of its full execution. Om. Some of the elders talked about, scroll back up to that paragraph again, that I studied with. Now, this is in oral traditions, that it was talked about that when all peoples of all great cosmic, and they talked about the cosmic forces, all of everything aligning back as one again for the great remembrance, because we are here to remember.
Sure. That's interesting.
And that one of the things that stuck with me, and I still use it, is that when you walk with an expectation, you run into disappointment. When you walk with an acceptance, everything just is. And we are to embrace the isness of is.
I like that. Embrace the isness of is. I'm going to start using that.
It just is. And when you can just be there, which is very present, and then they leave it as Om, this document whole, and then look at the seals, for the love of Pete, great sovereign country, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Okay, it never stopped being the USSR. It is a union of republics.
Chairman of State Committee in the State Emergency on the state of emergency of the USSR.
Army General.
What? Boris, and I don't know. This is
Kashimotovich.
Lieutenant, also under state of emergency. This is also Major General, state of emergency. Secretary of State, Commissioner of State, Chairman of State. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative,
Cooperative, like Great Russia. Her holy,
Her
holy,
Highness
yeah, Anastasia
Anastasia,
Pavlovna Borgachuk.
Chairman of the Board, World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitalers, His Highness.
Skirkanich.
International Consumer Cooperative ROD, with, I don't know what that is actually.
ROD. That is the flower of life on that seal.
It's also here.
OMG.
And then His Majesty Alexander, this white spiritual boy guy. And he has all
Look
these.
at the seals. This. Okay. So a lot of people with the swastika and all this other stuff, and
It's
it
not a
really is.
swastika.
No, it's not. It's the
This
sun.
is not behind here either.
No,
This is not the swastika.
no, but they've got everybody all twisted up and wrapped around it because they're scared. Now,
okay.
Holy buckets.
So this was Decree Raw video.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide Global Sovereignty Act.
That is crazy. World Council of Sovereigns.
June 27th, 2023. By foundation of the, okay. Take it away.
Here we go. All right, guys. Based on the results of the end.
Sorry.
What? Based on the results of the end of the game of the gods and the achievement of the complete victory of the light, living cultural ancestral worlds over hellish dimensions and their artificial civilization. This is crazy.
EPR technology, electronic protein restorator.
I'll tell you about
resonator.
That one.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, well, okay, we'll get into that one. Wow. Okay, I'm reading this for the first time, y'all, and so
same here.
So we're just like, okay, this is truly MST.
Start over on that. Yeah,
I'm like, holy buckets. Based on the results of the end of the game of the gods and the achievement of the complete victory of the light, living cultural ancestral worlds over hellish dimensions with their artificial civilizations and technologies, including, is it truly a G?
That's an E. EPR.
EPR technology, electronic protein resonator, based on the protein compound without living cells. Okay, here we go, y'all.
So that goes back to like the fallen angels and stuff, I think.
No, we're talking about zombies.
Oh, excuse me.
Whoa, based on a protein compound without living cells. Those without the God spark. The movie They Live.
I don't watch horror movies or
zombie movies. Okay, so this
I just my spirit and soul can't handle it. It's not like it can't handle it. It's just like that is just no. I don't know why. Just can't do it.
That's okay. There's some things because
I can look at really, really awful, god awful things. But that stuff, why? Yeah, anyways.
Okay, that's because they were creating them. These are the ones without the God spark.
Interesting.
Okay. Wow, is all I got to say. In pursuance of the sacred mission of the Savorish sovereigns in the world, Savorish sovereigns in the world of Ra, and in all the earthly and heavenly world spaces to restore the heavenly systems and creation of the whole all heaven. This is freaking biblical. This is like in the Quran. This is like ancient texts on steroids.
Yep.
Sovereigns. They're called sovereigns. Sovereign Order of St. John of Jerusalem, Rhodes of Malta, a Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers, Sovereign International Treasury Monetary
Malta
One.
Supreme.
Malta Supreme Sovereign. Okay, thank you. Order
Okay,
of
it's weird.
Hospitality.
It's a weird text, and I tried to blow it up as much as I can without making it look weird.
It's okay. Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, as the absolute owner and manager of all world assets under the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative ROD.
I think that's an O.
I think so
That's a
too, but it
what
could be
symbol is that?
it might be Cyrillic, so I'll have to ask a friend of mine, is that an O or is it a Cyrillic?
Okay.
Great Sovereign Country, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers. By the grace of the Almighty God, of the one kind earthly and heavenly stream, we hereby proclaim and affirm World Council of Sovereigns, consisting of Sovereign Order of St. John of Jerusalem, Rhodes, Malta, Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers, Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One is the absolute owner and chief regulator of the entire world financial system, as the absolute owner and manager of all world assets under the exclusive historical right from the creator of the new era. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative ROD. Great Sovereign Country, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. World Sovereign Bank of the Order of Hospitallers. Wow. Great Sovereign Country, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Look at the seals.
It's the same
State of
ones as any other
emergency.
one.
Okay, so here we go. Let's play the what if game. And so we look at the date on this, and they're issuing a state of emergency for Russia because they've got to get the evil out of that country. This year, what have we been doing? All right, they're saying that, all the weird stuff that's happening within the territory deemed
General air territory, yeah.
DC. And we have all these executive orders that Trump signed that keep getting renewed, if I remember correctly.
Have been renewed, from what I
Yes.
understand, yes.
Okay. And now we're seeing these documents here. We're coming along the anniversary of basically, the murder of the Knights Templars. And more of these documents are dropping. And as we are talking about this, y'all, there's a reason for the timing, as I look at things as divine timing, that Papa Joe, I just decided, hey, we're going to talk about gold because gold was coming up. And now we're on this and how everything is unfolding, I should say, that share this with everybody, print these things out, create a 3-ring binder for yourself so that you have the information, you can page through it at your leisure instead of us, yes, we will read them to you because I know I enjoy having some things if I'm on a long drive that's like, hey, I want to go back and listen to them read that to me. And so I get that. I really enjoy it. So that's one of the reasons that I feel compelled to do it here for you all.
This is great. I don't mind. This is great. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, this allows us to go back and look at this stuff too. Like, this is crazy.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, we've grown up. I don't know about you. I was brought up, in the churches about all this stuff. But then when I went off and studied with different elders, or I should say they found me, I was like, come here, we're going to work with you. I'm like, okay. They just wrote about everything that was being taught. Robert Ghostwolf was one of the elders that's like, no, we got to remember all this. We have to get back to who we are, our divinity, our divine light.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're reading about the protein, like the protein that's like
It's not
non-living.
real. Yeah. Makes you kind of go,
What?
what did they do? What did they actually come up with? Maybe there are med beds for a reason because it reverses all that crap.
I don't know. It makes me think of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
The newest one, you know, with the Cylons that kind of became more human. And then when they did the prequel, they went back to Caprica to see how they came about doing all that. They kind of came out of this ooze. Yeah. But they were creating them out of this protein.
Which was very interesting, weird stuff. I just don't.
Okay, so all right, this gets crazy. So what if we'll play the what if game? Because okay, this sounds even I can't even believe I'm saying this. So what if they're trying to tune people into lab grown meat and artificial food? Because really what they're doing is they were creating those without the God spark. And so they're just going to create, I don't know, livestock without a soul. I'm like,
that's nasty. Thinking about that, just a little.
I know. It's like, what?
Just give me my steak, man. Just my chicken, and just leave me alone. You know, my venison. You can't really. People don't like to do their own stuff. You mean I'll go out and get venison all day long. That's good stuff right there. Love that.
Or elk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have not had elk in a while, or moose. I need to get out west.
Yeah, that's really cool. So there you go,
Yep.
y'all. That was like, okay, you got to witness like Papa Joe and I go, what are we reading?
Yep. Just kind of going, well, guys, y'all need to look at this. I'm going to keep putting it out there. We'll keep doing this, keep looking into this, because this is also very, very crazy stuff. And we got a lot of things that seem to be happening this month. Don't be surprised in the next day or two you get a emergency broadcast system alert on your phone. They said they're going to test it, but tomorrow or today, if you're on the East Coast, on the 3rd of October, the 3-year Delta, the day before they said they were going to test it is when we had a national test, according to Q. So we'll see what happens.
Just hold it all lightly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we've been in a little over an hour now, so yeah, we can cut it here and pick up next week.
Sounds good.
All right, I will be right back.
All right, bye, y'all.
See you in a minute.